Hey there, this is Andrew. Welcome to Your Leader Journey. So, today I want to talk to you about 6 qualities of a high impact leader. You know, in my parents' generation and probably generations before that, there were some ideas of what it meant to be a great leader that just don't really apply today. There are still some companies and some leaders who believe that they're important, but I want to debunk that for you. So, some of the old sort of mythical qualities of leaders that I don't believe apply anymore are things like a take charge personality, someone who's always the foremost expert in the room, someone who's got to have all the answers and never show that they don't know what they don't know, someone who's strong and directive, keeps information close to the vest, doesn't share outside of their maybe their small circle of close advisors, and then someone who will come in a room and tell people exactly what to do and how to do it. That's the old way of thinking about leadership, and I've got six different qualities that I think are much more important today for leaders, and I think that create what I call a high impact leader, someone who doesn't just get the job done, but who also builds into other leaders and grows the talent in an organization such that that organization can do phenomenal things because they have so many people who step up and can lead and own parts of their business. So the first is integrity. And this is, for me, the most important, right? So if someone can't be taken at their word as a leader, we have a problem. And the way that I look at this is integrity is really the difference between what you say and how you act. And what I'm looking for in a high impact leader is someone where I know that whatever comes out of their mouth and the way they operate on a day to day basis in their actions are fully aligned. When they're not, that's when we know we have a character problem. The second is humility. And so this one for me also is really important. It's this idea that as a leader, my job is to take care of the rest of the team and to develop them and to care for them before I focus on my own needs. It doesn't mean that I don't have needs. It doesn't mean that I don't address those and try to solve for those things, but it means that my first consideration is the needs of the team before my own needs. The third in this lineup is courage. I want to know that I've got a leader that is willing to stand up for what they believe is right, even when they might be the only person standing up for it. And that, to me, is one of the hallmarks of great leadership. That you're not just going to go with whatever way the wind blows, but you're going to say, "Wait a minute, no, I believe this, and this is important, and I'm going to stand for it." The fourth of these six is the concept of forgiveness. So I'm looking for leaders who are willing to, what I call, keep short accounts with people. So if someone makes a mistake, someone offends you, you deal with it in the moment. You don't let it stew for weeks and months and years. And also, once you've dealt with it, you move on. So, you don't say in every conversation with that person, well, remember that time you did this, and because of that, I don't trust you or I have this issue with you. That's not good leadership. That's actually really bad leadership. And so what I'm looking for is a leader who will say, you know what, I forgive you. Let's get past this. And then the next time we have a conversation or, emotions are high, I'm not bringing up that past baggage of the conversation we had and the issue we had to make this feel worse. I'm saying, hey, this is a different situation. We've moved past that last thing. We're dealing with this individually, and I'm not bringing up those old things. The fifth in this lineup is encouragement. So I always look for leaders who understand that part of their role is to motivate their team and to give them hope and inspiration in the midst of challenge. Because as leaders, we're often called on to deal with really complex situations, change initiatives, business failings, angry clients or angry customers, all sorts of things like that, where the stakes are high and emotions are often, really sensitive, and our people need hope in the midst of that. They need to know that as the leader, you've got their back and that you can see a vision forward that looks like success. And so they're going to need that encouragement on an ongoing basis. If you don't have the capacity to do that, or if it's not something you're comfortable with, you're really going to have a hard time motivating that team or that employee to step up and do great things if they feel like they just don't have a leader who encourages and supports them. And the last of these six traits that I think make a really high impact leader is the idea of perseverance. So as a leader, you're going to face times when things just suck, right? There's no way around it. You're going to come into the office, you're going to get up in the morning and you go, oh, this is such a challenge. We have these massive issues. We've got these challenges. We've got these problems. I've got, an upset employee. I've got a vendor that's, giving me trouble. I maybe have some financial issues in the business that I'm struggling with, and I might just want to throw in the towel. But the hallmark for me of a really high impact leader is someone who says, yes, all of that is true. And yet I have a vision for where we can go if we're all aligned and if we're doing this together. And so, the difference between a high impact leader and a leader who just phones it in for me on this issue is that they're willing to say, yeah, the reality is the situation is bad. And yet, if we band together and if we do this and this and this differently, I can see a scenario in a future where we're actually successful. And that level of perseverance is really important. All right. I hope that's been helpful for you today. Take care.